I recently-ish learned of the term collective effervescence. And I think at a Foo Fighters show, it specifically happens during Best of You, when the crowd is doing the, oh, and it's just, your consciousness is like connected to other people and it's kind of an out of body, just like this feels amazing.
Welcome back to Foos Files, the podcast for fans of the Foo Fighters. It's Dan here, as always, for your weekly Foo Fix. And it's official, a new Foo Fighters album is incoming. Dave spilled the beans during the show on Saturday in Launceston, Tasmania, which we're going to talk about shortly. But yeah, that was the big news to come out of it. He said a new album is on its way and they're going to be heading back down under before his next birthday, so you'd assume that means another Australia tour, probably later in the year. And then the album, well, we await the official announcement for that, but taking an educated guess, being as their next scheduled shows are in May, and then they've got the big world tour, maybe an album release about springtime, so we await with bated breath news of that, but it's all very exciting. But for this week's episode, we are going to focus on that show in Launceston, Tasmania at the weekend with members of the Aussie Foo Crew. And it was great to hear how they've gone to another new place and by all accounts a very small city that isn't used to having shows like this. And it's really captured the imagination of the place. It really was Foo fever. It was all over the local news, the TV and radio. I think there was a comment too from the boss of the local airport who said it was their busiest ever weekend in terms of footfall. And then you had bar and restaurant owners in the area too, saying that they'd had to employ loads of new staff to cope with the demand because of the Foo Fighters coming to town. So all that stuff is great to hear about the impact they can have on a place, creating a feel-good factor, putting money in the till for the local economy and stuff like that.
Locals pinching themselves, this event was theirs.
Awesome. We walked here, we only live just up the road. 10 minutes it took us to walk here.
Look at all this, it's fantastic. And all the pubs and clubs are full and everyone's having a good time, as they should.
Yeah, and then on the stage, they got up and did their thing, another classic Foo Fighters show. And then they brought out Brant, one of the Beaconsfield miners as well, before Dave did his little rendition of Ballad of the Beaconsfield Miners. And 20 years since that mining accident now, that was not only a huge news story at the time, but it has kind of gone down in Foo Fighters folklore because of the chain of events that happened since, with the song dedication and everything. So we kind of knew that Dave would acknowledge it in some way, but for one of the miners to be there again, that's lovely stuff too. So let's get over to our chat. We've got Debbie, Kim, Gemma and Gio, who were all at the show. They all came away with some more great memories, and in Debbie's case, some pretty severe bumps and bruises too, which is usually the sign of a good concert.
We landed in this country fucking 26 hours ago. We came down here to do one show for you, and then we fly home tomorrow fucking morning. I had no idea what to expect, and I like it.
Welcome to the pod, everyone. It's great to have you on. We did Los Angeles last week, and now we're over to Australia to discuss the gig on Saturday in Launceston, Tasmania. So we've got, two of you are familiar faces to the podcast. Then we've got Gio as well, who you're all there on Saturday. So first of all, you can explain it far better than I can. What a big deal this was for Launceston to have the Foo Fighters. Who wants to kick us off?
I mean, sure. It's a pretty small town or city. I think so. Tassie has been trying to attract attention for an AFL stadium so that they can have their own AFL team. And I reckon that Tassie government and Launceston Council probably paid a lot of money to prove to us mainlanders that we're too cool to go to Tassie, that we will in fact go to Tassie for the right thing.
Yeah, I think they were saying, like in some of the comments, it was a case of, oh, they only came to Tassie because it was a one-off. That Foo Fighters fans, Dan, like we will go anywhere and everywhere to follow the boys. So it wasn't a case of, oh, it's a one-off. That's not going to happen again in the future. Sorry, my voice is still a bit croaky from that night. It's a case of, if you've got the bands that have the pull, the fans will follow. Doesn't matter whether it's New Zealand, Australia, or Tasmania. The fans will get there.
Proven it before. So they played they played Hobart in 2015, was it? It was a much smaller venue. But after that, Queens of the Stone Age went down there. Like a whole bunch more kind of larger bands started adding Tassie to their stops. Mostly Hobart.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if they play again there or anywhere in Tassie and it's as well organised as Saturday was, then I might even swap out one of the big stadiums and go there because it was nicer.
Oh, stop it, Kim. You'll just add it to the list.
I sent Stadiums Tasmania an email just to be like, just fucking tell Andrew how great that man is.
Yeah. I said, whatever you do, do not fire that man. There will be a revolt and people will just go off their heads. What a trooper he was.
So this is the guy who organised the line.
Yeah.
Andrew C.
Yeah, and he made sure he rocked up at just before 9, introduced himself, was impressed that we'd got our numbers going because he was going to do that. And then, he kept giving us an update and a rundown of how we were going to get in. But he really appreciated and cared about the first 150 people who had made the effort to get there early. And we've all got horror stories about getting into the venues. And it was just so refreshing that we didn't even have to ask. He just was on the case.
Yeah.
Maybe we need the Foo Fighters to hire him.
Oh my God, yes, please.
That would be great.
Member of the
I had a few random questions that he didn't have the answer to, and he made the effort to go and get that answer, came back and sought me out when there was easily 300 people around at that point.
Yeah, which is quite unusual, isn't it, Gio?
Mm-hmm.
To get that kind of response,
Very glad that I didn't have to keep walking back and forth between that box office and...
Well, shout out to Andrew. If ever he hears this, he's got some newfound fans. So
we had a chant going. I think he felt the appreciation.
Yeah.
We actually arranged a hand clap as he was going behind the barrier. So he did a little run up, clapping all our hands as he went through. So I think he appreciated that as well. Anyway, enough about Andrew.
No, we only went to see Andrew, didn't we, really?
Yeah, never mind Dave or, Beaconsfield Miners or anything like that. It's Andrew. But yeah, it was great to see that Foo Fighters pretty much took over the city and it was all over the local news and everything. The airport said it was its busiest weekend ever. There were bars and restaurants, owners being interviewed saying they'd had to take on hundreds of new staff. So it all seemed like it was a really great vibe over there. But all in all,
it was.
I think, sorry, Ken, go on.
No, I was just going to say the shops embraced it with posters and somebody did a funny rider for Foos, and all the shops had signs, and they really embraced it. And it was the talk of the town on Sunday morning. Every cafe we went to, there's shirts all over town. So yes, those people embraced it. Yes,
monkey
awesome.
enclosure.
Yes.
So Launceston, for some entirely unknown reason, has a free macaque monkey enclosure in the middle of a park in the city. And some genius put in some like custom Dave Grohl 335 cutout guitars for the monkeys to play. And there was a wrench in there as well. So obviously, with little else to do, we show up to see some monkeys and clearly pandering to the Foo Fighters fans.
Don't mention that. That was my downfall. That's where I fell. Actually, walking down to see those monkeys, and I still never got to see them.
Aw, I almost missed them. I didn't realize it had a closing time. I got there at 4 o'clock and it closed at 4. But I still saw some monkeys try and play the Dave Grohl guitar.
Awesome. Yeah, I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it from the local hospital, unfortunately.
Deb.
I know.
You could have styled that out, Debbie, and said it was like a rail injury or something, a pit injury. You felt going to see the monkeys. Yeah, very rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not very rock and roll, is it?
Mhm.
And my boot's not very rock and roll either.
Well, it is. Dave had a boot, so
Maybe Dave will loan you his throne.
Oh, yeah, that's a thought.
Yeah, you and Pat are boot buddies then at the moment. So yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, so how about the show itself then? When that kicked off, and we kind of knew vaguely what they were going to play, but just tell us about the show from your perspective. What were I know the big talking point that was he kind of confirmed the new album and that they're going to come back later in the year and stuff. So yeah, just tell us about the show itself and the highlights, etc.
Well, the whole show was a highlight, really. To be honest, traveling to Tasmania and the fact that the boys hadn't been there for eons. So the whole atmosphere from start to finish was just excellent. And there were a few deep cuts in there as well. I know that I was thrilled when they played Exhausted. I think that was probably one of my highlights.
20 shows. That's the first time I've ever heard Exhausted. And that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I did see it was a milestone show for you, Gio, wasn't it? So yeah, number 20. Congratulations.
I mean, assuming that past me calculated it correctly, because I'm just running off of last tour. I'm just adding, but it's been a long time, so I may have messed up. We'll go with 20.
Yeah.
It's definitely at least 20.
But we've got Gem joining the call.
Hi, sorry, I'm just.
No, it's fine.
Hello.
I've just woken. Well, I'm on night shift, so apologies.
Okay, so we were just talking about like what a big deal it was for Launceston to have the show, and then we kind of got into the gig itself. And there's a lot of love for Andrew, the lineup man, as well. So
Yeah, Andrew. Andrew's surname is Splee.
Yeah, we devoted a bit more time to him really on the podcast than we probably should.
So far.
But anyway,
I think he deserves it though. I think actually, out of to be honest, I actually haven't lined up for a gig before. Being a super fan, apparently, very obsessed, but haven't actually lined up because I'm pretty small and can usually weave my way in pretty close at getting there on doors opening usually. Lined up a bit for Adelaide last year, but this time was my first time lining up with GM people, and yeah, it was really good. It was really nice to see everybody and really nice to sort of have a chat and actually meet people who've got the same sort of likes as yourself. You could say more probably unhealthy obsession is what I'd probably say.
yes, that's
Yeah.
that's what we call it.
That's a good way of putting it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
We're not.
Yeah, but it's actually like I think it's one of these things where like people are like, why do you like the band so much? Like my partner said, I said, oh, the hopefully touring before November, like November, December, I'll probably go to a few shows. And he was like, just call one. And I was like, no, I want to go to a couple. And he's like, no, just pick one. And I'm like,
No,
well,
22 shows in
crazy.
Melbourne. You can't just go to one when they're right there.
okay.
If they play Amy Park, you'll be able to hear them from your fucking house.
I can't hear them from my house. I heard AC/DC from my house. I could literally hear word for word AC/DC from my house. So I'm going, obviously.
but that's quite funny actually, because when I got interviewed by the ABC and Channel 7, they kept saying, well, you go to multiple shows? Like, why? Have you ever seen Foos? See Foos and then you'll know why. But yes, but then I compared it to like people going to their favourite footies teams, like UK, Australia, they go to a season of football matches. Grand Prix people go to numerous Grand Prix. So why?
You've actually got a
is
really
going
good
to
point, Kim.
Difference. Yeah, it's no different,
Also,
is it?
thank you for giving me a valid argument to justify to Simon, my partner.
Yeah. Oh, of course, yes.
My valid argument. So I go to not just Foo Fighter shows, but I go to a shitload of shows. And a lot of people ask me why. And I recently-ish learned of the term collective effervescence. And I think at a Foo Fighter show, it specifically happens during Best of You when the crowd is doing the, and it's just, your consciousness is like connected to other people and you're like, it's kind of an out of body, just like this feels amazing. I guess it's kind of,
It is.
and like, at least with
Yeah.
Foo Fighter, it's almost guaranteed to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, you get the chills at that moment, don't you?
Jim, did you catch Dave's wristband? Was it you that was... There it is.
It's disgusting. I touched it.
It's dry now. It's dry. I put it outside in the sun.
How could you
It smells
ever?
plastic.
How could you ever call it disgusting?
It was probably just more, to be honest, water, because he chucks it over his face all the time. I kind of in a way do want to wash it because I don't want it to get mouldy in the future.
Oh no, it'll dry out because when my friend Macca caught it, it was really, really soggy, and she said it took about 5 days to dry out, but it's fine. So don't.
No,
I felt it as
No,
well, Kim, and it was very, very soggy.
yeah, it was, to be fair. I popped it in the garden when we got home and it dried in the sun.
Do you want to just quickly tell us about that then?
Yeah, that'd be great. It was just by chance. He literally came, so it was just after Everlong, before the bow. I've been trying to find a video because luckily, to be honest, I think it's one of these things where actually people are correct. Taking videos on your phone actually shouldn't do as many. And I'm terrible at taking videos because I do like to capture moments because I like to document things. But my phone actually storage was full. My phone capacity storage was full. So I was like, right, screw it. I'll just put my phone in my pocket and just enjoy the last song, enjoy Everlong. And then they did the last chord, did the bows. People, I think Shifty, except for like chucking the picks into the crowd. Dave came over to stage right, so where we were facing the stage to the left hand side on Shifty's side, and came and did like sort of like thank you, praying. And I caught his eye, and I just sort of mimed like with the action of like strumming a guitar. Have you got a pick? And he looked at me and I said again, have you got a pick? And he put his hands in his pockets and went no, or sort of gestured like with his hands up like no. And then he looked at his wristband and went this and pointed at it, and I just went yeah. Like so he said to the security guard, I think Gio, correct me if I'm wrong, like he said to the security guard like I think I might have said yeah. I probably was like yes, give me it. I can't remember, it was a bit quick. He said to the security guard down below like I'm going to give it to her, and then he threw it, but it missed. I think he sort of intentionally didn't throw it really far, and it dropped below the barrier. And then he gestured to security, picked it up, and he told them to give it to me, basically.
My favorite part of that interaction was that he told me to fuck off. Because I was like, me?
And he was like, no, fuck off her.
And you know what? I'm happy with that.
Oh, thanks, you. I know I felt bad. I was like, do I give this to the people? Like, do I deserve to take this? But I asked. So, what did I ask first? Reflection.
She's deserved it.
Nice. I think that's the point of like the Foo shows, is that they actually sort of interact and you just see people in the crowd and you just talk to you and just sort of watch people and just know people are there. So yeah. Yeah, he probably thinks we're all a bit weird that I've got his wristband in my house now, but I suppose when he was well, I'm not even that young to be honest, but like suppose when he was like has his own band obsessions, he'd be like, it's pretty fucking cool to have this. So
It is
Yeah.
pretty fucking cool to have it, most definitely.
My favorite memory of the whole show. So for an entirely different story for another time, I had comp tickets that when I picked them up were seats. So I didn't use them because obviously
oh yeah, this is good.
and we sort of befriended a kid named Eddie. Was he 15
Yeah.
or 16?
He's 16. He's a 16-year-old lad. It was his first Foo Fighters show, and he'd come down from I think Queensland.
Yeah.
Eddie.
Just we give him one of the tickets because Jem was going to be the recipient of the +1. Because, you know, what 16-year-old actually has a ticket stub from their first show?
I was like, we should give him the ticket stub, because remember when you had your first ticket stub and you kept it? I was like, you don't get it these days. I was like, you should give him my ticket stub. I was like, he'll absolutely fucking lose it, because he was losing it over being there in the first place. And he was like, I'm really hungry. And I was like, well, go get some food, come back and you can stand with us. We'll make sure we keep your spot. And he came back and he was like, he had the best time, didn't he? He had the best time.
But then my brain started ticking over because this is what my phone case looks like. And this is only a small collection of all of the guitar picks that I've managed to catch or been given in the last however many years. And I had a Dave Grohl one in here. The white one from the last tour. Actually, I have another one that I could just show it to you. And so I was trying to surreptitiously, not spill them everywhere. Well, I dug one out and for him to not notice. And then I popped it away till the end of the show. And then at the end of the show, I'm like, give me a hand. I think
he wasn't really paying attention at that point. We had to be like, Eddie, who comes like, what? And he was like, what? And I was like, we've got something for you.
Dem's like, we've got something for you. And I gave him the ticket and he's like, oh, I knew about this. And I'm like, no, give me your hand. And then he was just like, oh, holy shit. Was very excited. Gave me some. And I was like, I think I don't know. It gave me the fuzzies to be able to do something like that.
Yeah, it was nice because when I was 16, one of my first gigs when I was 13, I'm 14 and that. When I went to a gig when I was 16, 16 was the first time I actually saw the Foo Fighters, and I'm 35 now. I saw the Foo Fighters in Sunderland at Radio 1's big weekend when they were the second off the top of the list, and they were just before Chemical Brothers in a tiny tent in Sunderland in what's the park called? It's the park where there's a big monument thing that looks like bloody Julius Caesar's palace. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I saw them there when I was 16. So
Debbie, it's sort of a nice segue in a way, because people who've listened before might know that you've got a special spot reserved on your arm for one day to have Dave's signature tattooed on there. But it was close but no cigar again, wasn't it, this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. So I got on Channel 7 News and ABC as well, I think. I had my Sharpie. So all the way through the concert, I had my Sharpie resting in my hat with the Foo Fighters, Aussie Foo Crew flag. So obviously he recognises that and recognises the majority of the core group. So every time I would point and say, and at the end of the show, when he was doing his final run, he laughed at me. He laughed at me, and I was like, this is serious. This is so serious. But yeah, though. So I'm
not resisting to every fucking show. I always have a white paint pen in my pocket because if he ever signs it, I'll never wear it again.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it was he knows about it. He knows about it from Geelong, because Sean, the guitar tech, came out and took a photo of it and showed it to him. So he knows all about it. It's just stretch your arm down a little bit, Dave, and just scribble away.
He doesn't want to fall off a stage again, that's why. He's probably got PTSD.
No.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen one day, trust me.
I've got a video, my first video of this show, when he ran over during All My Life. He literally tripped over a cable gate and just stumbled a little bit. You can see him just his leg. I was I literally, when you rewatch it, I was like, fuck's sake. But if you notice now though, when the roadies come and do the foos, when they change from the support band, they put big massive rubber matting over all the wires, and they put big green tape on, and I'm like, it's just fucking sarcastic, really, isn't it? It's just hilarious. It's just like, you're on trip again, dude. Like, you're supposed to do it for health and safety anyway, but like, come on.
But it doesn't stop him. I think, was it Jakarta? He did a nice big trip there. Yeah, it doesn't stop him tripping.
To be honest, it probably breaks his wrist more than anything. That's what I'd be worried about. And then you're like, is there a doctor in the house? I'd be like, can I come and pull your wrist?
The irony of that is, though, he does all this kind of running around, and then even last week when they were playing in the round, he was going backwards and sideways and forwards, and he does all that running around. When he actually fell off the stage, he was just kind of tiptoeing along and not looking where he was going, and then was just like, oh, that's the edge of the stage. There I go. Whoops.
That's something that I've got in common with Dave. No, I don't know where I'm going, and then I break my ankle.
How did you break it, Debbie?
I'm waiting for the result. I don't reckon it is. I don't reckon it's fractured this time. They did an X-ray in Tasmania, but just like the first time I broke it when I was in New Zealand, there's so much swelling that they can't actually tell. And because I broke it 2 years ago, he didn't know if it was a new fracture or just the old one. So I don't reckon it is, but apparently my ribs is the thing. Apparently what I've done is I've pulled the muscle underneath the ribs or something. And I tell you, motherfucker, that hurts.
Oh, it does hurt, yeah. I've seen many patients with bruised and broke ribs and intercostal muscle sprains. It's the worst, yeah.
Oh, horrendous. But all worth it, of course.
I'm very sunburnt. That's the main thing, as I'd say, guys.
For someone that spent her morning, afternoon handing out sunscreen to people, I'm an idiot.
What we need to do next time, though, we digress, Dan, is that in Gio's she has a lovely little see-through backpack, which is a gig backpack, and it's see-through because of the US, she's telling us. You have to have see-through bags. And she brought us aerosol sunscreen. We just need to bring a non-aerosol that we can take it in the gig.
Here it is.
I'm your gig mum now. Do you need sunscreen, hydrolyte, ibuprofen, phone charger, band-aids, tampon, Narcan, naloxone? Which, if you need that at a Foo Fighter show, you're clearly partying too hard. Chill the fuck out. Thankfully, no one needed most of it.
Gig mums, myself and Gio, there was a lad behind us, not the lad we give the plec to, the plectrum, the pick, but the another guy who was like 14, and he was like sat on the ground, and I was like, oh, I can't be doctored right now. I've had 2 beers, but anyway, he was really, really dehydrated. He looked like he was gonna pass out. Didn't tell him, but he was white as a sheet. Was really vagal, like really like pretty sinkable, like he's gonna faint. So we just got him like 4 glasses of water and was like, mate, you need to chug these. But he was fine once he sat down for a bit. But it was really hot, the sun. Like Tasmania, it's very hot.
I think it got hot in the pit once, just before Foos came on, and everybody started moving forward. Because my friend behind me, she was getting really hot. She did actually pass out at the end and had to be taken over the barrier.
I was shivering.
Yeah, so I think Crispini was sunburnt though. I think people do this thing of not wanting to drink water because they don't want to. Which, to be honest, when you're on the rail, like we managed to go and have toilet breaks on the rail because you just like we were luckily with a group of like 5 or 6 people because we were further down from you guys. And we were just like, hey, I need the toilet. Can you just step in my space and I'll go to the loo and come back? And actually, I feel as though Australian shows are a lot kinder than UK shows in the sense that people will let you through, and it's not like pushing, like you have to be like, please let me through. I've been here all day. Because in the UK, I've like, you're back to back. You can't even move from what I remember. I mean, I haven't been to a UK gig for like probably 8 years now because I've been here for 7. But like, you can't move. You are literally like, I remember because I'm 5'1", literally being like, my face was on someone's back. Like literally couldn't see a thing. Whereas here, I think there's a lot more space. It's just like the Aussie thing. There's a lot more space between everybody. And I think you can actually move between gigs. Sometimes it's a bit less fun because people don't sort of mosh as much and don't get as sort of riled up as the UK. But sort of...
I mean, I feel like that's...
each their own.
Foo Fighters shows used to be how you describe, but I think
it's
a bit old.
Bit old now. Yeah.
I mean, I will say the last tour there was a lot more kids, and this last weekend there was a lot more kids, but it didn't used to be that way.
You've just completely crushed everyone by reminding us how old we're all getting.
Oh well.
I know. I mean,
No,
I take Canada on Eurofan to a gig right now, mate. Come on.
Um,
Isn't it? Wasn't like an interview where Dave says he has like a shot of like a couple of beers, a shot, and like 3 Advil, and he goes on stage? Like, come on, we're all Yeah, Kim, I was saying what with regards to heat and exhaustion. When we were on the rail, just before Foos came on, we saw somebody being carried off. Was that somebody who fainted near you guys?
Not
No,
for
I
us.
think
No, the only person that got carried out from our little bit was you know, when they finished Best of You. We did have that young girl behind us, but we managed to get her good again. So
there was a
I don't
couple
think
to the
so.
left. There was a couple to the left of me. I think they were having a domestic. So the bloke got hoyed out first, and then his girlfriend stupidly decided to follow him out.
I think that's what it was then, because it was a couple
Yeah.
of the. So it was a domestic. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully there was
What a
just a
time.
bit of words and that was it.
I would have like said, "Stuff you, mate. No way."
There was an
see you
altercation behind
outside.
us that I thought was hilarious. So there was this really tall guy on the barrier next to me, and he clearly took umbrage to someone lighting a joint and was like spent more than half the gig just like looking for this guy. I'm like, dude, it's just weird.
Whatever.
I don't know. He was
Yeah.
nice later because so I couldn't see Ilan to save my life because of the cameraman
Yeah, we both couldn't. So annoying.
trying to get a photo, and I asked him later in the gig. I was like, "Can I just lean across you for like a second or so just to get a photo of the kit?" Which I still didn't really get any good ones, but I could hear Ilan.
Oh, it's a shame. Seems the first time that you got to see him. That's a shame.
I mean, I've seen him with Paramore and Nine Inch Nails and probably some other bands. But I could hear him, and I really like his vocals. Sometimes
Yeah, it was lovely.
hear Ilan's vocals more than I could hear Dave.
The sound was good.
Yeah, that's another props to Stadiums Tasmania. Normally in the front row, you kind of forfeit backing vocals and stuff in a light show.
You can hear them really well.
I could hear everything. I could sometimes hear Nate.
You can hear that when he said, "I skipped jazz class."
Good evening, people. Mate, we got Dave. He's going to come back and do the Ballad of Beaconsfield for me. Yeah, it's a special moment, I'll tell you now. Mate, he's one of my rescuers. All my rescuers are my heroes. And Dave has been there from day dot. Mate, love this guy. Love him. Are we going to come back on, Foo Fighters?
So I was just going to ask a couple of other bits, that sort of key talking points. Obviously, they brought one of the Beaconsfield miners, Brant, on stage. We kind of knew they'd probably do something to at least acknowledge it. Was there any chatter about that around the place before the show, or was it kind of a surprise to everyone? Or
I don't think it was a surprise, but I don't think we talked about it. They did. They played Beaconsfield Miners at every show for the last Foo Fighters tour. Like, it's definitely a thing that they bring out when they're in Australia.
And Dave tells the same story.
Yes.
To go
I mean,
with
I think
it.
perhaps that's the problem when you go to multiple shows per tour. You do get some repeated stories.
you didn't get the drink driving story this time, though, did you? So
No,
I haven't had that one for a while.
maybe he had a bit of self-awareness there and went, yeah, maybe it's probably not the best story to repeat over and over again.
It used to go with Big Me, and now Big Me is kind of relegated to if there's something happening in the crowd and they just need to chill for a bit. Or that, or Stairway to Heaven, or a combination of both.
It's quite funny actually, because by the end of the tour, I could verbate exactly what Dave was going to say. And there was at one stage, and he was laughing at me because I was like actually saying the words just before or whilst he was saying them. Because like Gio says, I'm not going to say repetitive, but you kind of like get the gist.
I mean, yeah, at least on the last tour, because it was clearly like the production value was so high, which is obviously why they don't change the set list. I guess it's kind of down to a time or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just to kind of sum up, yes, it was definitely worth coming early to Oz for this trip. Catch up with all the Aussie Foo Crew. So it's lovely seeing everybody again, and have a couple of days in Tassie, because I've been to the south but not the north. And the last couple of days we've visited some fantastic beaches. So, the government and the state government and Launceston bringing Foos to Tassie definitely did the trick.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of politics involved in it, and the great north-south divide and all that rubbish. But I've always said that politics should not be a part of music. It never should be. It's all about the music, and all about, getting together with like-minded people and just rocking out to that music.
I mean, as a punk fan, I do disagree. But like you said, like-minded people.
Yeah. With the same common interest.
Yeah, but it's nice that they're going to play in new places that don't get these shows as well. Because I had someone on the other week from Leon in Mexico, and they'd just done the show there, and it was like the 450th anniversary of that city, and he basically said this will go down as the greatest night in the history of this city, because we've never had anything like this before. That's pretty incredible, isn't it? So yeah, stuff the politicians and the councils and So any final thoughts before we finish off?
Just top notch from beginning to end, really.
I think Newcastle should be next.
Yeah, really.
I don't give a shit about New South Wales. I just feel like Newcastle have the venue, have the people, have the most bands per capita in any city in Australia.
It's a very nice
remuneration.
Keep Kiri happy.
It will make Kiri very happy.
Yeah. It's a nice venue in Newcastle, I have to be honest. It really is.
And I will have a free couch to sleep on. Thanks, Kiri. You've got no choice.
Oh, you will? Oh, okay. Well,
I'll sleep on the floor. You can have the couch.
Okay, thank you. So, just on the final note, just to let you know that the Aussie Foo Crew flag is now going to be next seen in America.
Oh, yeah.
So some of the Foo Crew are going to America. Actually, Steph is. And she grabbed the flag off me. So, yeah.
I could have taken it to the UK first, for the UK shows and the Europe shows.
Oh, well.
I think
it's grabbed and it's going to America. Next time, Kim.
Yeah.
You're still on version 3? Still on version 3?
Yeah, still on version 3 at the moment. That was the one thing I was going to say. There was like none of the crew, as in the roadies and stuff, that were part of the Foo Fighters tour. Usual tour. Like Sean wasn't there. None of the security that are normally there were there.
No.
So
I noticed.
I thought
They had
I had a few.
they had Dave's guitar tech and Jeff and a couple of the others, the camera guys. They probably brought a reduced crew, used locals, and as I think you were about to say, Gio, they might be on other jobs as well.
Yeah, because it was such short notice. Perhaps they were booked up elsewhere.
Yeah, and they have the show now till May supposedly, have they? So it could be that, and as you said, they've probably kept it very lean if they're coming in and out in less than 48 hours.
That's another thought that I had, was that I feel like we got a lot more screamy songs than we normally would, perhaps because
White Limo.
they weren't on active tour, because Dave isn't having to preserve his voice, or he hasn't worn it out before he gets here, as per usual. Because I have seen them play White Limo before, but it's been a long time.
Yeah, I've seen them play it before, but that was good as well. I enjoyed hearing that.
Yeah, I think I've had White Limo quite a lot recently. So they have brought it back. Yeah, we had it in LA, we had it on Asia, one of the Mexico ones. Yeah, so it's nice. It's nice to hear it.
Hey
Yeah.
Johnny Park.
Yeah.
In my 20 shows, I've seen Hey JP 3 times. But my mate Figures, I don't know if he met you guys. So I had extra tickets and was trying to get rid of them, despite no one wanted to take them because flights were so expensive and there was zero accommodation available. And Figures had kind of expressed interest, and then he's like, no, I can't justify it. And then he saw the LA set list, and then because of Jason was like, they're going to play the same thing. And he just somehow made it happen. But he literally showed up just because he needed to see Hey Johnny Park. So that was a great moment to share with him, because I met him at a Foo Fighters show. At the same time I met Dave Grohl. Brag.
Don't mention that in front of Debbie. We're not allowed
Sorry,
to mention
Debbie.
it in front of Debbie.
I shouldn't say that it's happened more than once.
I'm very happy for you. I'm very happy for both of you.
So he got his Hey JP, which was actually like super exciting for me as well. Also because like it is a rarity. Love one of them. All I need now is like Watershed.
I need New Way Home.
I got
Oh,
New Way Home at
sorry.
my first ever show.
Sorry, I got that in Seattle.
I was just going to say one more thing. We didn't mention Jason Falkner, and I know he's sort of he's not peripheral, but he doesn't get much attention. But he looks like he's having a great time in this run of shows.
He was having a blast. Like, I've got so many photos of him smiling and laughing. He was having a whale of a time out there.
I was going to say he was almost as smiley as Pat.
Yeah.
That's a big
Yeah.
call.
Champagne.
That's a big call. That
I know.
no, but he's done a solid job, hasn't he? And he looks like he's having a really good time on these shows. So
Dave changed the lyrics. What song was it? He changed Station to Station to Jason to Jason.
Yes, I heard that.
At first, my brain was like, "Who the fuck is Jason?" And oh, that guy.
Yeah.
No fault. I mean, I fucking love Pat. I'm obsessed with the Germs. But Jason might be a little bit more talented than Pat.
Sacre bleu.
I have a Germs burn. I fucking love the Germs. I love Pat.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's not compare. Let's just say that just both bloody awesome.
There was that one point and he shouted at Shifty to play rhythm, and I think Jason was playing lead at that point until Dave sorted his guitar out. There was a bit of a switcheroo in there.
Just say they picked the right guy to replace Pat.
Yeah.
anyway, on that controversial note,
Sorry.
thanks very much for joining us, and yeah, you get back to your evening.
Thanks, Dan.
We'll be back here sooner than you think. I know when we're coming back. And it's before my next birthday, just so you'll know. And we might have a whole new record of fucking songs that we just finished the other day.
So that's a wrap on the Foo Fighters in Tasmania, and as far as we know, the live shows for another couple of months. So bring on the new album. Thanks again, as always, for listening and supporting the podcast. You'll be aware that we've obviously had quite a flurry of live concert review type episodes. So next week, we're going to get back to doing some interview content. Stay tuned and look out for that. In the meantime, if you are enjoying the show, then please do give us a 5-star rating and review on your favourite podcast app. It really does mean a lot, and it helps the podcast too. Take care, and we'll see you next week.